In April 2003, a young American adventurer named Aaron Ralston set out alone into the dangerous deserts and canyons of Utah. He was 27 years old, strong, confident, and obsessed with adventure. For Aaron, nature was freedom. He loved climbing mountains, exploring isolated canyons, and pushing himself beyond normal limits. Friends described him as fearless. He believed that no obstacle was impossible if the mind stayed focused. On the morning of April 26th, Aaron packed his small backpack and drove toward a remote area known as Blue John Canyon. The canyon was beautiful but dangerous. Narrow sandstone walls twisted deep into the earth like a maze. Some paths were so tight that sunlight barely reached the ground. Before entering the canyon, Aaron made one critical mistake. He told nobody where he was going. No family, no friends, no rescue team. If something went wrong, nobody would know where to search. At first, the day felt perfect. The desert sky was clear blue. Warm sunlight reflected off the orange canyon walls. Aaron climbed, jumped, and explored the narrow passages with excitement. He moved quickly through the rocky terrain, completely comfortable in the wild. Hours passed peacefully. Then everything changed in seconds. While climbing down a narrow slot canyon, Aaron stepped onto a large suspended boulder. Suddenly, the rock shifted. The massive stone crashed downward with terrifying force. Aaron tried to jump away, but it was too late. The boulder slammed against the canyon wall and crushed his right arm. The force trapped his hand tightly between solid rock and stone. Aaron screamed in pain. The canyon echoed with his voice, but nobody heard him. He tried desperately to pull his arm free. Nothing moved. The boulder weighed hundreds of kilograms. Panic filled his mind. At first, Aaron believed he could escape quickly. He used climbing tools to chip away at the rock, but the canyon walls were too hard. Minutes turned into hours. The sun slowly disappeared behind the canyon walls. Night arrived. Temperatures dropped dangerously low. Aaron sat trapped in darkness, completely alone. No phone signal, no rescue team, no way out. He still believed someone might eventually find him. But as the first day passed into the second, reality became terrifyingly clear. Nobody knew where he was. Aaron had limited supplies, a little food, a small amount of water, a cheap multi-tool knife. That was all. He carefully rationed every drop of water, every bite of food. By the third day, exhaustion and dehydration began destroying his body. His lips cracked from dryness. His muscles weakened. The desert heat drained his energy during the day, while freezing cold attacked him at night. Still, Aaron refused to give up. To stay mentally strong, he recorded goodbye messages using a small video camera. He spoke to his parents, his sister, his friends. Sometimes he laughed nervously. Other times he cried. He believed he was going to die inside that canyon. Yet even then, part of him continued searching for survival. Aaron tried everything. He pulled against the rock until his arm bled. He attempted to break the boulder apart. He used ropes to create leverage. Nothing worked. The canyon remained silent. On the fourth day, hallucinations began. Dehydration affected his thinking. He imagined conversations with friends. He imagined rescue helicopters overhead. But every time he looked up, the canyon remained empty. The isolation was crushing. Most people would have surrendered mentally. But Aaron kept fighting. Then, during the fifth day trapped in the canyon, he realized something horrifying. His water was almost gone. Death was no longer a distant possibility. It was approaching rapidly. Aaron later explained that survival changed the way he thought about life. Small things suddenly became important. sunlight, family, human voices. Even breathing felt precious. For hours, he studied the trapped arm carefully. Then, an impossible idea entered his mind. To survive, he might need to cut off his own arm. At first, the thought seemed insane. No normal person could imagine doing such a thing. But survival changes people. The human brain becomes focused on only one goal: stay alive. Aaron tested his dull multi-tool knife against his arm. The blade was weak. Pain shot through his body instantly. He stopped. Fear overwhelmed him. But time was running out. By the morning of the 6th day, Aaron understood the truth clearly. If he stayed trapped, he would die. There was only one possible escape, and it required unimaginable courage. Using the weight of his body against the trapped arm, Aaron managed to break the bones in his forearm. Then, using the small knife, he amputated his arm. The pain was indescribable, but Aaron never stopped.